This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library
enough, you can get the Truefire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price you can get Truefire All Access for.
So I've just had an Instagram message from Lee. Now I was all ready to upload a different video and he kind of said, have you seen this? So there's been an update basically in the Klon versus Behringer case, although not really, but essentially what Behringer have done is they've made some adjustments to the pedal. Now I've got an original one here, which is, if it's not clear what was exactly wrong with this image here is exactly the same as was used on a Klon, and the name Centaur is trademarked, so you can't, you know, according to trademark law in America, distribute a drive pedal which is called Centaur essentially, or you run the risk of getting sued, which is what was happening, and trade dress and all of that sort of stuff. That was what the case said. Now I kind of said that Behringer might ignore the case, speaking to some folks who are in IP as well. You know, they could have just not sent the Behringer Centaur to America in general, because anywhere else in the world they'd have to file, Klon LLC would have to file in other places around the world, which would probably not be something that Bill could afford to do or be bothered to do, because trademark law and all of that stuff is different all around the world. But one of the other things that I'm pretty sure I speculated that they might do would be just to change the name, because unfortunately for Bill, he hasn't patented the circuit, which this was a bit of a misnomer. You can actually patent a circuit, but it's very difficult to pursue patent stuff. The argument around prior art and all of that sort of stuff, it's essentially not really worth going down that route in general, I think, is what people have found over time in the pedal world. But once you change that name, Centara, this is kind of like the whole thing about this, which is like a little bit of a, it's tough, isn't it? Because it's like, we all know, you know, exactly what the Behringer Centaur is based on, and every other clone that's come before it. You know, you can call it a Notta clone, you can call it a Centura, a Centavo. You can have a horse-based thing here. You can use the same knobs. You can even use the same enclosure. It's tough, isn't it? Just don't call it Centaur. So Behringer, essentially, if we look at the stuff now, Centara, they've changed that as well. So $69.99, more in stock in 3 months. Who knows what is going to happen to the existing ones of these that are in stock? I imagine, it being Behringer, they're able to just absorb that as a cost and just ask anything that's left in stock to be sent back. So the conversation, or the stuff online now reads, legendary transparent boost overdrive with huge dynamic range, gain on tap, and soft clipping germanium diodes. Centara Overdrive. It's a pedal as legendary as the many mythological creatures it is named after. It's just named after one, isn't it? But whatever shape it takes, or whichever four-legged animal it goes by, its popularity and mythical status among guitarists is unquestionable, introducing the Behringer Centara Overdrive. Now, of course, the thing that we all know here is that it's not legendary if it has Behringer on the thing. What we all know is that it's only legendary because it's based on the Klon. And this is the case with every other Klon clone that's happened before as well. So, I don't know, it's tough, isn't it? Behind the myth, the heart of Centara Overdrive's transparent circuit is a dual potentiometer gain control, an improved version of the original concentric gain control, which makes it more reliable and precise. Simply put, you get to easily dial in your tone to get a completely clean signal, or have more overdrive mixed in as you turn the knob all the way up. Now, this is the actual thing that was novel about the Klon originally. There's two things. So the gain part, essentially when you turned it down, you had those diodes out of the circuit. So that was one of the things that David Barber has said is actually pretty novel in terms of like it's sort of like a blend. And then the other thing, what was the other thing? Yes, the what's it called? The charge pump or something like that. Basically, there's an internal boost within here to take the signal from 9 volts to 18 volts. I think that was one of the other things that was a bit of a novel thing at the time. Keeley went on to use that in the Keeley Katana. Another great characteristic of Centara Overdrive is its natural ability to respond well to picking dynamics. The pedal's high headroom and high quality diodes make this possible. With Centara Overdrive in the chain, you can dance lightly on the strings for a cleaner tone or really dig in to make your guitar and amp raw. It gives some ways to play it. So that's, I guess, what we could have assumed Behringer might do. You'll see also, you won't see on here, but they moved this Behringer logo from here to the top. And I guess this will make it to the point now where there really is no case going forward. One of the things that Mr. Finnegan was looking for was that for every unit kind of sold, he was going to be seeking damages. Now, I guess we'll wait to see if there's going to be any sort of ongoing stuff around the case. But at this point now, the Centara is essentially like fair game, and that's all it took was just to rearrange 3 letters, and that's kind of pretty depressing if you're someone who was actually trying to like design an original pedal. That would be all it would take to take this from being a thing which is kind of fairly obviously counterfeit and impacting and infringing on trade dress and all of that sort of stuff, to something which is, you know, now absolutely kind of fair game and just like any of the other clones. So yeah, that's the Behringer Klon story. It's a bit of an update in that they've just changed the name to Centara, and I guess that's just how Behringer operate, and I guess how most of the pedal industry tends to operate at this point as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I guess this is now all the more valuable, probably.